the Red Bull Music Academy application. Woo! That application, wow. It's very, I'd say as a musician, it's very exciting and frustrating at the same time.
Sucks.
You really have to have patience.
What's the title of your autobiography?
Boon documented.
Proud one.
We on the road, y'all. Real music from the soul, y'all. That's right. I thought I told y'all. What's that? We ain't on that fast food Man, come on, man. Tone it down a bit, no counterfeit. You can tell by the sound of it. Get money, but who's counting it? Life ain't measured by the amount of it. Sing along. Sky's the limit. And if I ever come across a ceiling, tell it to bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. Ha.
Actually had a deadline that I had to meet and deliver to DJ Low Key. He had another thing for me to do.
Well, one of the things that I was bugging Booney about, and I don't even know that I really had to bug him to apply for Rebel Music Academy like other stuff, but I definitely, just encouraged him and just stayed on top to make sure that that he applied. Because the thing about it is, also like a scholarship, it's not an easy thing to apply for. It's like this, I think, 17-page long questionnaire with all these essay questions and list, and it's a great opportunity, and so it doesn't necessarily come easy to people. Basically, what happens with Rebel Music Academy is every year or so, they give 60 different individuals this amazing opportunity to go to a different major city. This year's in New York City. And they basically put them up in what amounts to like a dream studio, put these 60 people in 2 different sessions in the presence of greatness a couple times a day. They have like a morning and afternoon session where like a different legend will come talk to them. All these crazy different musical legends from all across the board. And then what happens is at night, there's all these musicians get an opportunity to sometimes collaborate with these legends, but always collaborate with each other in this great studio space and just basically just do amazing music projects. And these 60 people in these 2 groups of 30 just basically have 2 weeks to create to their heart's content, get inspired.
Solomon did not want to fill out that application at all. He was complaining probably from start to finish.
Truthfully, do I think I'm gonna get picked or selected? I have no idea, but it kind of sucks when you spent hours doing this and you get told no. It's kind of like, damn, you have to wait another year? It's like, I don't know. So, we'll see. All I know is this is the last time filling out the application. Period. Low key, there is no convincing me ever again. Ever. So, with yes or no, never doing it again. Period. Ugh. Filling out that application is an achievement. Because I think it's a perfect way to weed out all the bull. The people who really want to be there, fill out the application and finish it, even if they complain about it. I really do want to be there and experience it, so I finished it.
Slowly but surely, we got Booney to fill it out, and he wrapped it up in the 11th hour, and maybe he'll be going to New York later this year. We'll see.
So, we backtracked a little bit. Everyone knows about my baby, Fender Rhodes. Her name is Loretta. And it's not Loretta Rhodes or anything like that. There's no NASA, it's just Loretta. That's it. Anyway, Loretta had a middle C that was not working. And it finally got fixed. Ross came through, fixed it up. easily. He kind of retuned some of the things, fixed some. He got the thing sounding good. You know, angled some of the tines like he was talking about. You know, hey, Ross is the man. So the Rhodes just sounds beautiful. I love it, and you know, Loretta's good. But then, one fateful day, I was going to one of the local music shops to return a flute that I had rented. I was renting to own because I was going to see if maybe I wanted to learn the flute, see what it was like, and it just wasn't happening. So after a few months, I was like, you know, I'm just going to take this back. I'm not going to keep this. I returned that. I get there and been there several times, and usually there ain't nothing much I like to look at this specific store. And all of a sudden, I just see this keyboard with a, you know, black casing just from the back. It's like, is that a? No, like, so I kind of peek over to it and look, and then I see it's a Wurlitzer 200. Beautiful. I sit down at the Wurlitzer and I just turn the thing on and just start playing some of the keys, and I about peed on myself. Everything about it I just loved. It was the action on the keys are wonderful. They just beautiful, and just the sound. It's got this rougher sound, more bark to it. I was just like, I have to get this. I don't have the money right now, but I have to get this. And so I asked how much it was. They let me know, and I was just like, you know, forget it. How long is layaway? And they say, put on layaway, you got a month to do it. So I was just like, all right, I'll put it on layaway. The first thing I did notice about the Wurlitzer when I was at the shop was, about 10 notes that I don't know what was wrong with it. It just went ting, 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 ting. It was like, no, I need to get this fixed. So, you know, who do I call? Ross, man. You know I gotta go to Ross.
Hey.
Hey, Ross.
Shortly.
How's it going?
Doing good.
Good to see you. Yeah, so this is the baby right
That's
here.
in nice shape, man.
Yeah, I already love the action of it. So I get it there and I show them the issue and stuff like that. I mean, everything else is great. It's like such great condition.
Yeah. You know Herb? Herb
No.
Solomon Herb?
How you doing? Herb, the other guy that's there, he's like more the Wurlitzer specialist. Ross is more the Rhodes specialist. So Herb takes it apart and everything, and he finds exactly what was wrong with those keys, and it was very good news.
Well, here's the reason why it's not the reeds.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Really good news. There was nothing wrong with the reeds.
See, the reeds, the sound. The reeds, if you take a look at the reeds, the sound. So you need to be free here. If I put something, see if I put my finger up, I can make this dampen, and that's what these.
Right.
These are the dampers. This is what.
No. This. Somebody stuck these damn things in
Oh.
here, and that's what's dampening it out.
That's weird.
That is very
And it's right in that octave. Because what it does is this goes over and touches the reed.
Yeah.
And see, if I put my finger on it, see, I can make dampen it just like.
dampen.
So that's what's going on with that.
So they just put these
I don't know.
things on.
I have no idea what for.
That's weird.
Weird. For some reason, whoever had the Wurlitzer before put these dampers screwed under the whatever, the parts. I don't know all this stuff, but basically it was making it go tink, 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 tink. So I guess that was preference. The person wanted it to do that, which doesn't make any sense to me, but hey, that's what it is. But I mean, is that kind of like an easy fix? Or?
Yeah.
Just take
Yeah,
them
what I have
off.
to do is take them off.
Take
and
them off.
Then I'll have to go through and tune the reeds.
No, well that's
And,
great.
But that's
About it then.
that's about it.
That's interesting. Maybe they just liked it like that.
Maybe they wanted that for that.
wanted
octave.
that octave.
That soft sound on that. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
That does the dampening on it.
Like some kind of weird preference they had.
Interesting.
So all it really required was to take those things off. Screw, take off, screw back. And then he was just going to go through and tune it. You know, to make sure the tuning was good. So, yeah. As Ross said and Herb said, it was in really, really good condition. And for the price that it was sold for, it was a major steal. Really major steal. So, that was exciting. Now, I know people are probably going to ask me, which do I like better, the Wurlitzer or the Rhodes? And the truth is, neither. If someone's gonna ask me, should I get the Rhodes or should I get the Wurlitzer? First, I would probably ask what genre, what kind of style you're looking for, and all that stuff. But honestly, I'd say if you can, get both. It's worth it. So, there are some things about the Wurlitzer that I do like more than the Rhodes. One, it is light. It is so light, you can pick it up by yourself, it's no issue. The thing is about 56 pounds. I like that compared to the Rhodes being roughly probably a good 140, 150 pounds. The other thing I like more about the Wurlitzer is the action. The action and the keys. I have mentioned before, you know, when I first got the Rhodes, how I loved how the keys jiggle and stuff like that. Yeah, you like that at first until you play for about 20 minutes. Then it really starts to strain on your hands and drive you nuts. Mark 1s, the action on most of them things suck. And the older it is, the worse the action is. It just sucks. Once it gets to the Mark II, the action is a little more similar to the Wurlitzer. Mine in particular, my 88 key is a lot more on the smooth end. You know, you can tweak it to make it bark a little bit more, but it's still going to remain very, very more on the warm, mellow side. But when I need more presence in the electric piano and I needed something for more maybe rock, then the Wurlitzer. I love them both. And I already got a name for the Wurlitzer, which I think somebody suggested the name on actually, I think somebody suggested for the Rhodes before. And I was like, no, that's perfect for the Wurlitzer then. Which was, they were saying Bonita Applebum, you know. Well, I wasn't going to use the Applebum part, but Bonita is the Wurlitzer's name. So there's Loretta and there's Bonita. And love them both.
I think you have two kind of shows. You have, you know, the show where you open up for somebody, and you kind of hopefully have some of your own fans there, but you're definitely sharing the headliner's fans. Yeah. And then you have your own gigs, and sometimes you get confused where you're at because you play other people's gigs, and you forget sometimes that not all those people are necessarily your fans. They're still figuring you out. Yeah. So when you kind of decide on which path you're going to take. Am I going to just start from ground zero, start with 10, 20 people at a show, then, you know, get to 2, 3, 4, and, you know, of course, God willing, 5,000 people at a show? Yeah. Or do you try to go the route where you're opening for people and you're trying to, you know, get that gathering, get some of their following. Yeah. And we've done both. When we started, we did both, but we definitely laid a lot heavier on working with groups. Yeah. Mostly because the type of groups that were asking us to perform, we couldn't say no to. You know what I mean? It was like the Roots and, you know, Tribe and Talib and, you know, all those kind of groups. And plus people we came up with, Diggable and all that stuff. Yeah.
I'm Mr. J. Medeiros, and I'm a rapper and occasionally produce. And Procussions. And that's it. I first met Booney via his YouTube page.
Back in 2007, if I remember, 2007, around the time my first YouTube videos were up.
I saw him on the MPC doing a track that is later called Tower of Cards on my Art of Broken Glass EP. But I saw him, the energy was phenomenal. I hit Booney up, tried to get him on email. It was good that he responded, humble cat that he is. And I found out that he was from the Springs.
And the funny thing is, when he had mentioned the Procussions, I was like, "Oh, word, yeah, the Procussions. That's from my hometown." He's like, "What? Where are you from?" I was like, "Colorado Springs, man." And we were like, "Oh man, we definitely have to work together then." So
that to me was just like, that was the answer. It's like, we definitely have to work together. I really appreciate his music. He's from the Springs. I'm ready to do some music, so we worked on an EP from there, Art of Broken Glass, and yeah.
Yeah, because it's confirmed by what people have said. I mean, Jay, when we finished that album, when we finished the Side Out album, that was one of the first things, I told you. I was like, this is a big album. Like, it needs a big push. It doesn't, with full respect for people like Fat Beats and some of the other distributors that we've used over the last, 10 years, but this needs a big push, because this is a bigger record than, what niggas look for and on Fat Beat sites and stuff like that. So
exactly.
The problem is it's knowing how to get in the ears and of those people. But it was funny because like Jay would send out copies of the album to people and people would listen to it, and almost everyone said the same thing. They all said the same thing. It's like, yeah, this is a big record. This isn't just some independent hip hop record. They all felt like it was a bigger record.
Yeah.
That was a pretty consistent term. But there was, I think,
Which basically meant I can't help you.
Yeah, because
basically,
and this is what I'm saying, because you were both dealing with clientele. You were dealing with some of the same clientele that, let's say, the Procussions were listening to. And and I'm very proud of what the Procussions did, but the Procussions never made a record as big as Saudade. You know what I mean? There was never a record that had that could potentially have the appeal that the Saudade album had.
My name is Stro Elliott. I am a producer / artist, writer, overall bum, and I like music and stuff, kind of.
Yeah, so it's like it was hard, but but
different kind of music, new music. It's like it needs new network. I first met Stro basically around the same time that I finally got to meet Jay in person. The funny thing is though,
Booney, first of all, Booney Mayfield, known as Solomon, back in the day, recalls meeting us at something that I don't remember, which was, and I don't remember it, and it wasn't that he wasn't special. It was, I believe it was a situation or a date or something we were doing where there was some turmoil within the group that I was with at the time. I won't say the name of the group and the people that were involved, but there was some family involved. People, do not get involved with your family. It didn't work out for Oasis. It didn't work out for the only people it worked out with family-wise was the Winans. And this because Jesus was in the middle of that in a weave like a French braid. And so
I always knew who Stro was and had been at several of his shows when he used to be in this group way back. Like, I was like, back when I was a freshman in high school, and he was in this group, and when we first met, and I kind of brought up those things like, yo man, I've been a fan of you since day one, man, when you used to be in this group and stuff. And he was like, oh my god, you were at those shows. I'm like, yeah man. And then back when you used to, like, you'd be rhyming and then the beat would stop and you'd be coughing like and then they'd be like, yo Stro, did you choke? He'd be like, nah, I got a rhyme caught in my throat, and get back up and just start spitting. And I was just, and he's probably gonna be so mad at me when I mention this, because he was like, you know too much. And I do.
But it was a bad situation. I don't remember him at the time, but we reconvened later at a beat battle that we did out in Denver.
Jay put together this, like, a beat showcase of like me and Stro, like for us to like play beats and stuff, and Mr. J was gonna host it and also do a couple songs and stuff. So they put it together. They hit me up. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely down and stuff.
We put together a beat battle of sorts in Denver, and I'd already been working with Booney. Of course, I've always been working with Stro, and I think that was the first time that they both came together at this beat battle, and it was a great experience. I guess for all of us, because we got to see how we work together. And
the Procussions go pretty far back.
The Procussions are a group that started here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Started as like a 5, 6, 7-man Wu-Tang crew and dwindled down to about 3. And eventually down to just 2, which ended up being myself, Stro Elliott, and Mr. J. Medeiros.
it was myself, Stro, and Rez. It was myself, Stro, Rez, DJ Vajra. It was myself, Stro, Rez, DJ Vajra, vice versa. It was Stro, myself, DJ Vajra, vice versa, and Q.
They were touring with Tribe Called Quest and so many other groups, and they were coming up at the same time Little Brother was coming up. Like, they were like touring together and were opening acts a lot of times for a lot of these shows.
But that's the Procussion story. I mean, if we're in the honest, I mean, we got in the game just as vinyl was dying. Like,
Right.
we had vinyl when vinyl was on its way out.
Yeah.
I mean, we got in the game just as CDs were dying.
Right.
Yeah.
We got Five Sparrows came out. If you look at hip hop and you look at 2005, 6, and 7,
Yeah.
you'll see that was a low time because for the most part, that was the rise. All those younger kids was listening to emo and that was all the hard, like all the cores were coming out and screamo.
Yeah,
And that's what everybody wanted. And so one of our album, which we consider our debut album, Five Sparrows for 2 Cents.
Right.
I mean, that came out at that low end. And so we went to Europe, and we were lucky to be on the tail end before that place started to flip.
Yeah.
And then we come back, and we don't,
Yeah,
So
that
we've
was
always
sort of-
been on the tail end of
Yeah,
it.
and I think that was sort of what, because I was talking to Fonte, and Fonte, he said, he's like, yeah, we were the last niggas to sneak in the gate before they closed it. And because, it's like, and he's right. If you look at it in terms of like, the groups that were just sort of starting right there, obviously they were a lot more successful. But yeah, in terms of people who were doing what we were doing, and not even just what it sounded like on record, but what we did, the imagery we put into our shows and stuff like that. We got in at the tail end, and we were and even when you look at sort of what was going on with social media and all that stuff, we were pretty late on that stuff. It's like we
didn't do anything. We didn't do
anything.
YouTube.
Yeah.
We barely did MySpace. We didn't know nothing about Facebook.
So it wasn't even that we got in late. We were stuck in this vortex of being right in the middle of a transition period.
Sure, exactly.
So that was like this
That's
era was
2005.
ending, and we caught the tail end of that, and this era was beginning, and
we were in Europe
stuck
the whole time.
Yeah, we were in
Yeah,
Europe the
stuck
whole
in
time, and we come
Europe,
back to the U.S. and the Chinese have taken over or something. Like it was a different country all of a sudden. It was like,
so much had changed.
yeah, a lot had changed, so to speak. So it was kind of like, it was, I think and it's not. We don't make any excuses for it at all.
Yeah,
but it's
right.
like, but I think there is a part of it that is unfortunate. Your symbol work and all that comes with, like, in terms of all that stuff, and you're talking about accents and adding and that's all jazz drumming. So if you spend time just working on your right hand and just, without even involving any snare in it for a while, and just getting patterns in there like that, and then slowly start working in just simple grooves, you'll get it.
Stro was able to stay he stayed over at the studio for a while, and I got to pick his brain with the drums because he's a drummer. Stro on the drums. That dude is funky, man. I say this all the time. To me, jazz drummers make the best drummers. Period. Especially when it comes down to doing funk, hip hop, and soul. Because That's where they came from. And then when you look at like, you know, the Funk Brothers and Motown, these were jazz musicians. You know what I'm saying? That came together. So honestly, to me, when it comes down to grooves and pocket and just and dope break beats and stuff, jazz drummers bring it the best. They got the best pocket, and Stroh proves that.
It sounds like on my left hand I'm playing 3/4.
Yeah.
But on my right I'm going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of a Latin thing mixed together with.
Yeah.
Because the first time I heard it, it was something that Ayarto like did or whatever, and he was doing just a sort of a straight like kind of a. And all of a sudden he was like.
That is sick. There's this thing I've noticed that a lot of producers and musicians as a whole, a lot of us tend to have quirks.
Apparently, it's been brought to my attention that I have a little quirk, as most producers do.
Things that we do that we are absolutely not aware of until A, somebody points it out, B, we see it for ourselves finally on video or something.
I remember first watching Booney's videos, and he's got this head bob. But it goes like that.
I'm literally thinking my head is just doing this. That's all I'm thinking I'm doing. I see a video, I'm like, I don't know. Stroh, he hums. He hums to himself.
It's just been brought to my attention that I do a little humming. So I'm expecting like a. And instead I hear the,
He'll be talking to you normal. It's like, yeah, man, so when you if you want your hi-hat to do something like this.
It's the same thing, but it's,
It's so cool. It's funny, but it's cool because that's when you know he's in the zone. He'll be drumming, and the thing is, it's like he's just humming the whole time. So he's like, and he's just murdering it. It's almost like he goes into this trance.
I don't know what it is, where it comes from. The only maybe explanation I can come up with is that I do remember when I first started playing drums, I used to get made fun of because I didn't breathe. Breathing was a big deal for drummers because they felt like in order to really be fluid and get everything out, you had to breathe. And I played, and in some ways I'm still pretty stiff, but they told me I had to learn to breathe. So maybe the humming thing started that way.
Do you notice that you hum? And he did not notice. And it was funny when I brought it up because Jay was like,
Stroh has been doing the humming since I've known him. I brought it up once. I don't think he remembers, but I don't think that I wanted to add to it, because you think, that's just someone's intimate quirk. You don't want to get them so aware, but I'm glad it was brought up because he does hum. He does. He hums even when he plays new beats. He hums when I hear new stuff and the beat. As soon as he plays it,
and that's the cool thing about quirks is that their quirks is what makes the musician or the producer lock in or get into the zone, and that's how they just don't notice that they're doing it. And even when it's pointed out, you still won't notice. So I still don't notice when my head is doing what it does until I see it later.
I'm kind of used to it. My dad does that when he's vacuuming, so. It's a cool thing though. We all got our little quirks and stuff.
I'd have to say, and I'm very familiar with how this show works, so I'm pretty sure there will be a little clips and scenes in there of me humming and sounding crazy, and for that I will punch Booney in his soul. But it's okay. We all have our things. Like I said, I'm sure I'm fully aware of Booney's quirks, and all you producers out there, you're not safe. Just know, we see you.
What time is it?
It's 9:40.
Oh crap.
Yep, ready?
I'm trying to murder Superman. What's going on, y'all? I got a really quick announcement. So, with the launch of NPC tutorials on the way, they are offering a special drum kit for all the Boon documented viewers. And if you didn't know, I'm one of the featured producers for NPCtutorials.com, and I will be bringing, tutorials on the NPC 1000 and also on the NPC Studio once that comes out, which is part of the next generation line of Akai NPCs. So, be on the lookout for that. But until then, all you producers out there, beat makers, go ahead and go to the link that will be below, which is npctutorials.com/boon-documented-promo. So it'll be right there. Just go ahead and check it out there, and you can download your free drum kit. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And keep tuning in. All right, peace.
Colorado, my home, sweet home.
Yeah. This one's for Colorado. I'm from the Rocky Mountains, four-wheel drives, I'm hopping out. I'm talking about how the raw steel eyes forgot about them. Cause you ain't from the springs where the heat come early. Hearing the beat from the C-130 make you wonder if our freedom's worthy. Hearing the draft of population, kids losing their dads to the Iraq occupation. Cops are blue or black, waiting two in the back, hating on the boom in the yak. While we cruising through the gas stations, cash inflation grow past your patience. See the bank, so it's out like trash, it's castration. For any man's ego, saving the fam. We know ain't Brooklyn, but we still in the hand of Gambinos. My fan came from the East Coast, Pike speaker bus, so do those we toast. You might meet the dust if you got more foes than friends, but in the end you gotta keep both close. So my first gun in 6th grade, the young had switchblades. D3 got PTSD to this day. You know those Proud Boys popping that loud noise, come mopping your town with a crowd full of cowboys. Vets sent to free, never left what they went to see. So Colorado's getting out of debt through the dispensaries, filling those empty Z's from killing enemies. Let me see who reps to see. Presently, mention me. Shout out to those who will eventually, and those cops closing down every event that we went to see. Now you can lock me in this box with Lockheed. I'll drop heat, leaving even a cocky knocky. Stop me if a fan want an autographed copy like the Rockies. Lost friends to drugs and gun violence. Thugs of all kinds, his HUD homes and sons of silence. It's the gun down Ludlow miners, and the one running town playing humble, climbing on that methamphetamine. Left hand let her dream, right hand let him fiend, despite them getting green. Must be the adrenal fever or the high altitude cerebral edema. Now where's FEMA? Nah, where's your FEMA? Drop knee, believer, redeem your demeanor. Run rhymes, cause sometimes the green is greener when you see the whole scene through the sheen of a screen door. Now it ain't worth a stack for the major label pains, laying birth to a track with a major label's name. Haters complain, shame, I don't cater to fame. I fight back, writing raps, I gotta later explain. If you favor the change, put your hands to the reins. I'm from the land where a man is a man and a range is a range. Hollywood could damage your brain. They take advantage of all that's good and hand you a chain. I stay the same, ain't playing a part with every statement from the heart, made face in the dark, bringing light to the days that encase your part. Do you rap, do you skate, do you paint? State your art, play the part before you sweat the scene. From the 719 and anyone with a dream to the 303 and everyone in between, and let the sun shine down on Colorado Springs.